Jim Daopoulos spent 11 years as an NFL on-field official, 12 years as an NFL supervisor of officials. He is now a current rules analyst for ESPN and ESPN Monday Night Football, and he joins us on the Little Caesars Hot and Ready hotline. Zach McCrite here, Jim. We appreciate you doing this on fairly short notice. Can you explain to the listeners exactly what the rule is to begin with before we go any further on this Ballghazi, if that's what we're calling it here?
Yeah, it's always something, guys. And first of all, thank you for having me on. Here's what happens. Once at about 2 hours and 15 minutes before the game, the referee is given 12 footballs and 12 footballs from each team. So basically, the Indianapolis Colts gave the referee a bag with 12 footballs in it. Patriots gave the referee a bag with 12 footballs in it. These footballs have been checked by the equipment man. They've been checked by the quarterbacks. These are the balls that they want to play with during the game. These footballs have got a little bit of wear and tear on them, but they basically meet the specifications of the National Football League. Now, the referee's only objective here is to make sure that it reaches the proper PSI, the pounds per square inch, and it has to be somewhere between 12.5 and 13.5 pounds. And Walt Anderson, who was the referee in this game, he checked both sets of 12 footballs and 12 footballs, and then there's also a third set just in case of inclement weather. He checked all three sets of footballs and then puts a mark on them to verify that these balls meet the requirements, and these are the footballs that we will play with. So about 10 or 15 minutes before the game begins, the referee and the head linesman will bring the footballs out to the field, and they will meet with the ball boys who basically will control the footballs throughout the game. And that's the last time that the officials will have any contact with the footballs. So that's the normal procedure. Now, there are also 8 kicking balls, and the kicking balls come directly from the manufacturer, and they go directly to the referee. So no one has the ability to, even look at these footballs until the referees, get a hold of them. They are still in the package. The referees have to scrub them down. They have to get the film off them. They have to check the pressure in them, et cetera, et cetera. But the kicking balls are a little bit unique because we all know that the kickers are a little bit unique. So we don't let the kickers get near the footballs prior to the game.
Did this ever happen to you? What happened in this game, did this ever happen to you as an official?
Never, ever did I have a situation like that. Of all my years in the league office or on the field, the only incident that we would ever have is maybe once in a while there'd be some questions about kicking balls. The kicking ball was overinflated or underinflated, and that's why the competition committee took the kicking balls out of the equation and said, we're going to send those directly to the officials so the team will have no contact with the kicking ball.
So does it raise a red flag to you that when 11 of the 12 are underinflated?
There's always a question with this, and I guess the tough thing that I'm having a hard time really grasping is you've got to understand that the referee is going to look at the ball, and when the Patriots balls come in, the footballs are anywhere, as I said, between 12.5 and 13.5 pounds. Well, I'm sure Tom Brady probably wants the ball a little bit softer, so they break it down right at 12.5. It's not going to be at 13, or it's not going to be at 13.5. It's not going to be right in the middle. They don't want it right, but as long as they're between 12.5 and 13.5, that ball is going to be approved. So if it's at 12.5, now the ball goes out on the field, and the ball is used a little bit. Will the ball lose a pound? Will it lose a half a pound? Does the weather conditions? Those are all questions that need to be answered, and those are answers that I don't have. I don't know, and that's why I'm so interested to see how this investigation by the National Football League, transpires to find out, did somebody actually let the air out of the balls, and did somebody was able to get every ball of those 11 balls and let out the perfect amount of air on each one of these footballs? I don't know. I mean, it's a question that has to be answered before we start convicting anybody of tampering with the footballs.
Jim, I know this is going back another week, but the whole process of the catch with Dez Bryant, I heard Mike Pereira was talking on this, and he said, and I'm sure you agree with him, he said, if you make it as simple as 2 feet down and the ball in possession, for every one of these process of the catch plays that you review, you're going to review 30 or 40 where it's a bang-bang, second-foot hits, and the ball comes loose. Is it as simple as this is the easiest way to kind of make a black and white line with the process of the catch? And do you see that rule changing in the future?
Well, great question. And I read what Mike said, and Mike and I worked together for years up in the league office. We were on the field, together, and, we feel exactly the same. We dealt with so many catches, no catches in the years that we were up in New York, supervising, and he's exactly right. You're opening up a whole can of worms if we start, micromanaging on those bang-bang plays. We have tried, as the league has, they have tried to make this simplified for the referees. If you go into the ground to complete a catch, show me the football. That's what the referees are saying to themselves when the players go to the ground. Show me the football. Hold on to it and show me that you've made, you've held on to it, and that's what we're looking for. Will the rule be changed? They may talk about it in the competition committee, but they've just changed it a few years ago after the Bert Emanuel play. They tried to simplify it. So I don't know. I'm sure it'll be reviewed because Steve Jones is on the competition committee, and after what happened to the Cowboys this year. But I think it's just a reviewable situation. They'll talk about it. I don't see any changes coming.
Just real quickly, yes or no, when you saw that happen, did you immediately say not a catch?
Even before anybody else, I think, in the room when I was watching it. As soon as Dez hit the ground with his arm, the ball, I saw the tip of the ball go from laying flat to the tip going up. So I knew that it hit the ground, and that was going to be reversed to an incompleted pass.
All right.
Yeah.
Jim Daopoulos with us, former on-field official in the NFL and supervisor of officials for 12 years, so 23 years total. Two quick questions before we let you go, and we appreciate you coming on with us. Number one, I give you the option to change one rule and one rule only. It is what?
Tough one. I think the number one thing that I talk about pass interference, and I talk about, tightening up on some holding, but I think the number one rule that they have to change is start reviewing hits to defenseless players. Hits to quarterbacks, hits to receivers, hits to defenseless players like they do in college, because it's such a tight window, and we charge the referee with protecting those players, but again, sometimes they're overprotected. Let's get them right, and we have the ability to do that with instant replay.
And then finally, and you can even answer this with just 2 words if you want to, just 2 words, and we can let you go. All right, at the height of Jim Daopoulos' talent, referee Jim D could throw the penalty flag how far?
50 yards.
Whoa! See you later, Jim. Thanks for doing this.
Have a great day, guys.
All right, likewise.